Hi, friends. Welcome to another edition of A Kiss for Luck. I'm Steve Wolf.
I'm Bling Bling Bedazzle.
What?
That man in the lower corner right there, Chris Wade, he has called me that for 12 years, and you know it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, true, true. Okay. All right, Bling Bling. And also with us, we have from Northern California, Mike Crutchfield. How are you, Mike?
I'm doing fantastic. And Steve, I just call Charisse the boss. That's it.
Yeah, baby. The boss. You got it, just like in our
Oh,
household. And also with us today, as previously mentioned, in-house handicapper Chris Wade for Los Alamitos
woo!
Racetrack. How are you, Chris?
I'm doing fine. How y'all doing today?
Good,
Doing great.
fantastic. So how did you become the in-house handicapper at Los Al?
Well, it's an interesting story. Um, well, we keep going to the track back in the good old days. Became friends with Les Knock, and Les Knock had a handicapper's race report, and you had to go to the track to bet the track. So we're outside and selling the sheet out front. I'm standing at a little stand and selling the sheet and giving out selections to the public as they're walking into the racetrack. And then a little later on, the TVG came online. So Les Onaka became handicapper on the TVG set. So they needed someone to give their selections each and every night before the races, before each race. So I'm standing there, I walk in, and I'm in my little regular old halfway decent shirt, and then they walked up to me, and the boss walked up and grabbed a jacket out of a Vessels Club coat section and threw a jacket at me, and he went like this: "You're on." So I went downstairs, and they said, "You're on," and then we started doing our selections in the paddock before. I mean, the paddock walking before each race, and that's how we got started quite some time ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
Les Onaka. So many good times with Les at Los Al through the years.
yeah,
Yeah, such a good guy, such a good
Yeah,
handicapper.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, what was that one night he hit? Did he sweep the card?
yeah.
Chris, what was that?
Yeah, he swept the card one night. It was absolutely incredible. That's almost impossible. I did one night. I got 8 out of 9 one night, and
Did
other
you?
words, my third selection won. So it can be done, but it Les is the only handicapper I've ever known to sweep a card.
Wow.
Yeah.
Chris, excuse me, you did not give me your picks that night when you had 8 out of 9.
I'm
Hey,
not sure. I'm not sure what happened that particular night where you were. Maybe you were mad at me one of those nights. I'm not really sure. But that the night before, my best bet didn't win, and you had it all hanging on that horse. So she said, "I'm done with him."
Oh no.
yeah. The life of a handicapper, man. You're only as good as your
Yeah.
last selection.
Yep.
Yeah.
But speaking of selections, let's get into what people probably tuned in for, and that would be selections. So, Mike Crutchfield, Belmont at the Big A, you have selections for us there. What do you got?
I do. So there's a double carryover in New York. I
Ooh,
thought that we do the late pick five and that'll
okay.
actually cover, most of those races. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off in race six. And I'm gonna start off with the single, Steve. And again, the number four, Smooth Breeze, just absolutely freaked over that turf course the last time. One off by six, and it's just really facing a very, very weak field. So this horse will probably end up 7-5 or something like that. But I think this horse will win the sixth race at the Big A.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and again, this is a $90 play. Um, so in the seventh race, I think you have to go fairly deep in here. These type horses aren't really that consistent, and so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use five in here. I'm gonna use the 1, 2, 6, 5, 7, with my first preference being the number six, Cumberland Blues. This horse is dropping into a nice spot here, and I think this horse is going to run really, really well. But again, you have to go deep in this race because these horses aren't the most consistent on the grounds.
Yep, claiming 10,000. Wise choice, my friend. Race number 8.
Okay, race number eight. I think this race, I'm gonna use four in here. I'm gonna use the 2, 5, 6, 7. with my first preference being a horse that had a little bit of trouble last time, but was on a really good streak. And the horse is number 2. Diabolical is the horse that I'm going to use for my first preference. And again, Diabolical will win race number 8 at the Big A.
All righty. Fantastic. Gets us into an optional claiming 50, race 9. Who do you have there?
Yeah, so this race, so interesting race. The 2, you're going to see something here that doesn't happen very often. So Chad Brown with the number 2 is going to be using Eric Kunsel. But listen to this. When they team up, they have a strike rate of 29%. Yeah. I mean, he really rides well when Chad puts him on a horse. So I'm using 3 here. I'm going to use a 279, but I'm still going to actually make my first preference the number 9 coming off a layoff. He's going to be a lot better price. And so I'm going to use the number 9, Downtown Channel, to win race number 9.
All righty. Fantastic. Yeah, and that Eric Cancel, they're 30% over 34 tries. So it's not one of those 1 out of 3. It's
yeah. He rides well for him. And Eric Cancel, is an underrated jockey and is really, really a strong finisher. So he can definitely get the job done if he's on the right horse, for sure.
You got it. All right, race 10. Looks like a maiden 50 on the grass.
Yeah, so I'm going to use 2 first-time starters and then the favorite. So I'm going to use the number 1, Prince of Dance, and that's going to be my first preference on the line at 8-1. I think this horse is primed and ready, and then you get the added value of having the 1A, which is a really nice horse too. So, but I'm going to use the 1, 3, 12 with Prince of Dance being my top choice in race number 10 at the Big A.
Fantastic, sir. All righty. So to recap, it's a $90 play. We've got 4 with 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, with 2, 5, 6, 7, with 2, 7, 9, with
179.
179.
Well, I'm sorry. No, 279. No, it's 279.
Well, I thought I was going crazy. Okay, good.
No, it's 279.
279 with 1, 3, 12.
That's it.
All right. Fantastic. Definitely plenty of prices in there and some great opinions there. Fantastic, sir. Charisse, what do you got for us, dear?
I'm going to go to Los Alamitos, by the way, Chris. We will be there this evening with the Harpers. I'm going to go. You want to go head to head in a race, Chris?
Sure, anytime.
Okay, race 2.
Throw down.
Yes.
And I do have a very important question for you, Chris, before we go off the air, but I'm going to go to race 2. And this is my top pick. I'm going for a price. Number 3, Funky Gray, for one of our favorite trainers out there, Angie Aquino. Cristobal Herrera riding. He has an excuse the last time he raced at this level. I get it. But going 4.5 again. Herrera for the jockey change, 3,500 claimer. I think this horse will make one move around the turn and come on in the end. I'm going to go with number 3, Funky Gray, at 12-1 to win the second race tonight at Los Al.
Ooh, all right. Excellent. Well, Chris, that's a little bold, I think. 12-1 shot. What do you got?
Well, I'm looking at my selection sheet here, and my first 4 horses do not include Funky Gray. So if Funky Gray finishes on down the lane, the good-looking gray on the outside, and wins well, I'll be tiptoeing over to her and give her just due, because that's a tough one to come up with. But anything could happen. That horse has won at a nice price and did so not too far off. So I'm going to give this 6 a look as my top choice in that particular affair. That horse has got a good look at the outcome. It's kind of a wide open affair, though. I'm 3 deep in my pick 4 with the 6, 4, and the 7 there in that second leg.
Okay.
Fair enough. What other selections you got for us there, Chris?
Well, we got, like I said, we got the Pixis carryover tonight on tonight's racing program. It starts there in race number 3, just one thoroughbred event on the pick 6. And that kicking off the pick 6 is a wide open affair. I'm going to give the 3, the 2 gold, what the horse is that? Gold Drama there, I think it is. And the 2 horse in race 3 is my top selection. Then Slew's Joy, the 8-5 favorite, would be my second choice. And Erebus down on the inside, who ran a good race last time, was first off the claim there for Hastings as our first 3 horses there in the pick 6. Then we start off with a 2-year-old group of horses there in race number 4. And it's kind of a wide open event. I'm going to give the 7 a look. Elemental a look as our top choice. This horse worked very, very well prior to running last time and finished pretty well after having a good amount of trouble. I'm going to give the 6 a second choice. Tight Assets, first time for the new connections. And then, of course, the 4, Bear Down, not a bad looking runner, has a look as our third choice. And the 3, Birdie Pruitt will be our 4th number there in tonight's 4th event. But pick 6 wise, going to give it 7-6, kicking things off 7-6 and 4 in tonight's 4th event, that second leg of the pick 6.
Mm. You don't like Valentine's horse on the outside, huh? La Papa's Chick.
No, I'm going to give the horse a look, one more chance. Horse ran okay last time. I'm going to give a look to Elemental. This horse worked very well prior to the debut, and it was a B and a B plus worker prior to having 2 pretty good efforts all factored in. So on my numbers with trouble and track variant, good look at the outcome of Elemental is my top choice there in the second leg of the pick 6 with that $32,000 carryover going in.
Nice.
Okay, excellent. Good deal. Hey, Chris, let me ask you a couple of questions here about Los Al. We had a couple of trainers that took over for other trainers, with Eddie Willis and Monte Rosa being out. Do you know of those guys? Have you talked to them at all, or are they the assistant trainers to those guys, or did they just take over cold?
As far as I know, they were assistant trainers. Yes, they were the assistant trainers, and they just took over and then just continued on with the horses. And Ruben Castillo's done a pretty good job so far with taking over for the connections. And then the new gentleman, Valier, is a new trainer to me. So we'll get to see. We give him a couple of looks and see how things go with their horses. But so far, the horses look like they have good looks at the outcome there with the new trainers. But we'll see how things like Kristen Watanabe took over for Heath Taylor, and her barn has been carrying on with some pretty good success.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, cool. Just curious on that. All right, I guess it's time for me to start doing something here. So let's see what I can pull out. I'm going to do the all-turf pick 3 at Santa Anita today, and that starts in the 8th race. Races 8, 10, and 12, all the even numbers from 8 on. So the first one is a 32 claimer, 6 furlongs around the hook. I like Noble Reflection and Sharp as Attack, the 1 and the 4 here. Tough to separate the 2. I prefer the 4, Sharp as Attack, because this horse is really figuring it out. And Mullins and Barrios on the turf, my Lord. I mean, it's ridiculous. Mullins is 28% in sprints and then 24% in turf sprints. And him and Barrios together are 25%. And this horse figures right in there. If Noble Reflection can run off the layoff, he hasn't been able to do it in the past, but if he's fresh and ready to run off the layoff, he's every bit as good as the 4. So I've got to put both of them in there to start. So we're going to start with the 1 and the 4. The next race is a grade 3, the Daytona down the hill, 6.5, sort of down the hill. I mean, not like traditionally what down the hill used to be, but close enough. And you know me, I hate the 1 and 2 holes, so I'm going to throw those 2 out. But I do like the 3 Goliad with Mike Smith on board for Richard Mandela. This horse in the past, I'll never forget, Goliad scored me a nice pick 5 down at Del Mar, and I believe he was about I don't know what he was, like 16-1 or something like that, or he was 16-1 going in the gate, and they hammered him down to a little bit less. But he it's one of those horses again. It owes me nothing. Thank you very much. So I'm putting in Goliad because he's a super quick horse. Doesn't need to use a whole lot coming down that hill, and he will finish. And then the 7 is the favorite, Motorius, at 6-5 with Frezu and D'Amato. They've won down the hill last time in December. He's coming off a layoff. That's the only reason I'm going to add another horse. I would single otherwise, but so in that one, we are going to do the 3 and the 7. So in race 12, to finish it off, this is a wide open affair. Main special weight, mile on the turf. So I'm going to spread out a little bit. I'm going 1, 4, 8, 10, 12. I'm going
Whoa.
to go a bunch of horses in here. A lot of reasons why, but certainly the one horse, Kent DeSormo on the turf. Everybody forgets that DeSormo's a fantastic turf jockey. The 4, Strawberry Tizzy. I love the first time out. When you get a horse that runs nice and even first time out on the turf, doesn't lose, doesn't gain, nice and level, that means that horse gained a lot of knowledge. So I'm going to bet him second time out at 20-1. I'm putting that 4 in there. The 8 is Ride Gold with Hernandez and Craig Lewis. Clubhouse Ride, likes the turf. California Rocks, same thing as the Strawberry Tizzy. First time out, didn't do a whole lot. Perfect. That's what I like. Every reason to improve. And then 12, Ride Elbow Ranch for Mark Glatt, another clubhouse ride there. Lost by length and change last time out on 6.5 down the hill. So every reason to want to stretch out with clubhouse ride. So that is going to be my play, and it's a $60 play. It's $30 times 2 because, or times it's a $10. I'm sorry, it's $20 times 3. Do the math, Steve, and makes it a $60 play. And the all turf pick threes always pay big because people just can't spread as much as they want to spread. So if you catch a price in there, you're looking at 3 or 4 digits, and that is what I'm hoping to do today.
You know what, Steve? You know what I'm going to do too? I'm going to play your ticket in the 12th race. I'm also going to very sneaky horse in here that I want you to consider throwing in, and it's the number 6, Pure Chaos. And if you look at when Mike Smith rides for James Cassidy, 33% with it's just a horse that I think is very, very sneaky in that race. So
I
I'm going
agree.
to add him.
Yeah, and I got no problem with that because I was kind of looking at that. There's a few
Mm-hmm.
reasons why I like him. Obviously, first time out, first time Lasix. Jim
Yep.
Cassidy bred it, trains it, owns it. He's got everything all about it. I mean, and yeah, we know that Cassidy and Smith go way back to New
Yeah.
York days together as
Yes.
buddies. And
Mm-hmm.
whenever Cassidy's got a good horse, he's going to put Smith on him, yeah, because he trusts him like a brother. So. I'm with you on that. And then Sir Prancelot. I mean, that's a live sire, man. That is a sneaky live sire, Sir Prancelot. Those horses have been popping. I know
Yeah.
that we were talking about Pete Perella's got a horse. Is it today, Charisse, or tomorrow that he bred to Sir Prancelot? And
Yesterday.
yeah, and so there's a lot of folks that are kind of standing in line to get a little piece of Sir Prancelot at 8,500 breeding fee. That's not bad for that horse. So I'm with you on that, Mike. I don't mind adding that one.
Yeah,
It's
I
good.
just got to add him. And I love your ticket. And I'm just going to add him because if that horse wins, I mean, I'd be kicking myself.
Yeah, I would too. It's better kicking yourself than kicking the dog. Okay. All right.
Exactly. Never do that.
No.
Hey,
Okay, I'm going to give out one more pick before I'm done with my picks, and that'll be Churchill today. Typical Churchill fashion. Optional claiming 125,000. I mean, you only see that in Kentucky, baby. It's a mile on the turf. Non-winners of 3. Optional claiming 125K. Very interesting, statistics to get your horse in this race. I love the 4 in there, Amarth. It's out of the Green Lantern stables. It was a homebred. Eddie Keenely, Luis Saez on board. The horse has got plenty of lick and a lot of stick. Throw out the last race where he didn't like the slop. And I checked the weather in Kentucky. It's going to rain a little bit around 11, 12 o'clock. And then it's going to stop, hopefully. And they'll get this on the turf and get it going. But I think a Marth is gonna take a big step forward here, and something very interesting. First time Lasix
Yeah.
after 7 races. I mean,
Yes.
that's only could be good. So we're gonna hope that is the a little bankroll builder in the fourth race of Churchill, the number 4 horse Amarth, and of course 4-4, which Charisse and I certainly enjoy that number. So
That's our
4,
Yeah.
anniversary.
4 in the fourth.
And we got engaged on my 44th birthday.
Wow, fantastic.
That was only last year, Chris.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Man, I'm going for younger gals. Look at me.
Yeah, there you go.
I got a little announcement. Our favorite meet is opening Friday, June 20th. It's Los Alamitos Daytime. Had so much fun at that meet. We're going to run 9 days. We're going to run Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 consecutive weeks, starting 20th, ending Sunday, July 6th. I know Steve and I and Todd and Caroline have reservations every weekend, and we're going to be there rooting them on. Chris, I know you're going to join us. Mike, I think it's time you come out for a weekend.
Yeah, well, I don't know about this weekend, but I'm definitely going to come out and see you and Steve for Del Mar. I'm definitely
Awesome.
going to do that.
All
I'm
right.
going to, and the other thing I wanted to ask you, Charisse, what did you think about the Belmont? What did you and Steve think about the Belmont?
You know who my pick was. I guess Rodriguez isn't the horse really that I had hoped he would become, but Steve was all over the trifecta. Everybody was. I mean, it
Yeah.
paid what, $6.90?
Mhm.
$6.90. Yeah. But
Yeah.
you know what? A winner's a winner. And like I say, it's better than tearing the ticket up. So
Yeah.
I
I mean,
thought it was an interesting race. Did not run. I thought that horse would do something, but
Mhm.
yeah.
but it, but you know what
What?
I did on Thursday? I gave out my picks on Gabe's site, Live and Breathe Horse Racing. I hit 7 out of 9.
Well, fantastic.
But the early
Wow.
pick 5 for a $12 ticket only paid $58. And I missed the late pick 4, of course. But yeah, that was a boost for me because I've been not doing too well. So, but I just
Well,
ride on my
that's good.
husband's coattails.
Well, I don't know if the
Yes.
$7 trifecta is coattails. I mean, that's very short coattails. I mean, that's like Billy Barty's coattails. I don't know. That's I got problems there. But I think it really shows you who the best horses were this year.
Yes.
And I tell you what, journalism, man, hats off to that horse because he fought every battle. He was there. I mean, to be when you think about it, right? A win in 2 seconds in the Triple Crown. I mean, nothing wrong with that at all. And then Sovereignty winning 2 of
Right.
them, and that just goes to show you
Yeah.
got to listen to your trainer. I mean, that guy knew, Belmont knew from the past that this horse needs 5 weeks rest, and then he fired.
Yes.
5 weeks fires, and he said, "We're not
Yes.
doing the Preakness, we're doing the Belmont
Mhm.
because it's right in that window." And he fired. What do you think, Chris?
Oh, it's incredible. You got to understand. I mean, Jiminy Christmas. Who would want to go for a triple crown? But knowing how your horse runs, you got to respect that. And of course, I have to tip my hat to journalism, who was a Los Alamitos maturity winner as a
That's
2-year-old,
right.
running in the Triple Crown and winning the Preakness and running second in the other 2 races. That's just got to be incredible. And like
Yeah.
I said, as noted by Sharif, we got the Los Alamitos daytime racing come out. And just for all you know, one of my favorite angles is tactical speed horses coming from off the turf, running the Los Alamitos because the turns are tighter with elongated racing oval at Los Alamitos, and with a long stretch, those turf horses always run very well. People just throw them out, but we've done very, very well with the tactical speed horses coming in and running in Los Alamitos, running during the daytime.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Any-
the other thing, Steve, is journalism. I think his campaign caught up with him. 4 races in 9 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot, and I talked about it on the show last week. That's one of the reasons why I picked Sovereignty. Because 4 races in 9 weeks, that's a tough campaign and shipping
Sure.
all over the place. So, but what an iron horse he is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I have one question for Mr. Wade.
Okay.
All right.
What would you like for dinner tonight? No way. That's our joke. Mike, I've been joking with Chris. We buy him dinner. No filet.
We'll get the cheese ravioli with shrimp.
Okay.
What?
Cheese ravioli with shrimp.
There you go. That's a good dish.
Okay, you got it. I want to your table right after the first race.
All right.
Good dish.
I do
Good
have a long
dish.
shot. Just a quick news to know. I got a good long in the 6th race. He's my price plane racing card. He's my 3rd pick, but he has a good look at the outcome. That's a horse whose name is Hurry Up in the race number 6. He's drawn on the rail. C worker in his first trail, he moved up to a B-. The barn always takes their time with the runners, and they always improve with each subsequent start. The horse lost all chance in the debut. He was crossed. And thank God with the drone shot, this horse didn't like the dirt in his face. He fell back. He angled into the close to the rail. But what caught the eye was the gallop out. He galloped out past all the horses that beat him by 2 lengths or so, but he galloped out very, very strong. So he draws the rail tonight. He's my 3rd pick. And any other racetrack in the country, he's 15 or 20 to 1. But Mr. Ed Berger, the one I make Los Alamitos, misses nothing, made him 9 to 2. But if he gets away clean, he's got a good look at the outcome to grab a nice slice of the pie. His name is Hurry Up there in the 6th event, kicking off the late pick 4 and 3rd leg of the pick 6.
You see what happens
Beautiful.
when you buy Chris Wade dinner? He just gives you a long shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, you know what it's called? It's called a VIG. Come on, let's go. Anyway. All right, guys. Well, I'd like to finish, of course, by mentioning rest in peace, Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, and Sly Stone also passed away this week.
Yes.
And 2 very iconic figures in my childhood. And they couldn't be 2 different people, that's for sure. And rest in peace, both of them. And I'm glad you were able to share your music and your talents with us. And rest in peace. So I guess that will end our episode today. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, and good luck in your racing endeavors, and let's win a lot of money. And that'll be it for now. Goodbye.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Yes.